Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. It is time to get into this week's episode of The Challenge. This is episode 11, and I called it This is Not MTV's Best Friend Race. I got that off of RuPaul. This episode of The Challenge annoyed me to the highest level. It, does anybody want the $1,000,000? Are we playing for $1,000,000 or are we playing for friendships? Because you can find friendships at home. This has to be the most boring cast. Did you? Hey Eric, I see you off in the chat again. Let me tell you, this episode highly pissed me off. Like the entire time. I don't know if any of you all follow me on Twitter. Please do. Everything is Kiss My Cheeks TV on Instagram and Twitter. I was going off the entire episode. I was like, what is going on here? Like, do we want $1,000,000 or what? I don't understand. Let's just jump into the episode. You all do what you do. Get in the chat. We're going to have a good time in the chat with your comments and questions and stuff like that. I want to get through the episode. I want to read a few people. I want to read production. And then I want to get you all's opinion. The first 30 to 45 minutes of the episode was a snooze. The first thing we see, I don't even know it was first. I just wrote down a couple of things I remembered. Ashley was in the room telling Nani that she could be trusted because she didn't go jump over on the Emerald team. And I'm like, Ashley, you want $1,000,000 or you want to be Amanda's friend? You already have Amanda's friendship. Go ahead and win $1,000,000. You should have jumped over there on the Emerald team and sent Nani over there with Amanda. I don't understand what Ashley was doing last week, but it is what it is. Her and Nani had some kind of little moment, whatever. We got to see all these Zoom telephone calls. We've never seen so many phone calls. Hey Stephanie, I'm so happy you made it to alive. We've never seen so many Zoom telephone calls on this show in my life. I wrote them all down. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. We saw Ed talking to his mom. We didn't care about Ed and his mom over there on the circle, so we damn sure don't care about them over here on MTV. We saw Big T talk to her sister. I didn't write down the sister's name. It was a cute little moment, but it wasn't nothing I really want to see on my TV screen. Nelson had a call. I didn't even write down who Nelson was talking to. And then we get to see Kyle talk to his pregnant girlfriend, which was cute. Like I'm happy for Kyle. I'm happy that he has had the baby by now. But it wasn't nothing I wanted to see on my TV screen. And so the next thing I wrote on my piece of paper, the Ruby team, Corey leads a boot camp. I agree, Stephanie. It was a whole lot of filler. Like this whole boot camp was a lot of filler. Every season, whatever team Big T is on, they want to do some kind of boot camp with Big T to get her ready for the challenge. And every season, she got something to complain about. Now, I agree. It is too hot to be working out outside. Corey, you could have done it on the inside in the gym or something. I don't know. But the first 45 minutes was a fast forward. A complete fast forward and a waste of my time. Like this was the episode that could have been an hour. We didn't have to have an hour and a half of all of this. But okay, let's just get to the challenge because I did appreciate the challenge. I did like the challenge. I didn't write down the official names. I called it, what did I call the challenge? Jumps, satellites, and fire hoses. I know that was not the name, whatever creative name MTV came up with. But pretty much y'all watch, they had to jump across the satellite with fire hoses. CT's team, which is, the blue team, I don't forgot the colors. The Sapphire team, they went first. And we all know from the many years of us watching the challenge that the Sapphire, whoever goes first, usually does the worst because people are going to watch you and then rethink a strategy of watching you go first. So CT and them went first. They only got one plug. I think CT was the only one who got a plug. I think, what color went next? Ruby went next. Kyle messed it all up. I believe all the gentlemen on the Ruby team got a plug, but Kyle didn't do the leap of faith jump. So his, hey Dan, hey everybody in the chat, I see y'all. So his plug didn't count. Okay, we're gonna get back to that. And then the Emerald team goes, let's talk about this Emerald team. Number one, their team is filled with the people that everyone hates. I think I can say that you all kind of agree in the chat. Like, the people on the Emerald team are not the most popular people of the challenge. Like, that whole Emerald team could go away and never come back to another challenge. And I would not be mad at it. Dan, you want to know, have we done a fantasy update? Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to say it again at the end. But you all don't know. But I am an accountant. That is my full-time job. And this past 2 weeks have been our fiscal year close. And so I've been extremely busy. That's why I've been doing the challenge reviews on Fridays instead of Thursdays. Because usually after me and Charles do Survivor on a Thursday, I would go right back to work. Like, I've been working a ton of overtime. Thank God the year is closed. Like, today was the last day. So we all agreed as a trio, since I was so busy with work, that we would do our fantasy update next Thursday. And Drew was saying next Thursday is the 500th episode of the challenge. So it would be kind of, we're going to make it a big night. Like, we're going to do a lot of fun games, a lot of fun reviews. We're going to talk about our fantasy team. We're going to talk about 500 episodes of the challenge. So next Thursday, I promise, will be the trio. I know I've pushed it back every week. It was my fault because I just have been working hella overtime. But I'm going to remind you all at the end. But yes, next Thursday, for sure, the 500th episode, we will be going live. Okay, so back to what I had to say about the Emerald team. Get in the chat and tell me if you agree or not. We have Devin, Josh, Casey, Manuel, Tori, and Nani. Out of the whole house, those to me are the people that I care the least about. That people really hate Josh, hate Devin, hate Casey. Like, that team can go away. Why is it seems like production is setting it up for them for the win. Because I believe, from what I watched with my two eyes, that the Emerald team cheated. Now, y'all let me know if I was tripping in the chat. When everybody was jumping across the satellite, you had to be on the other side of the white line and jump. The Emerald team was damn near walking on the inside of the white line and jumping. I couldn't understand. I'm like, why didn't everybody else do that? What are the white lines there for if you don't have to be on the outside of the white line to jump? So I agree. Eric said Tori, Josh. You put Tori twice. You said bye to Tori, Josh, and Tori. And you said most fans don't like that team. But it's like, I don't understand why our productions fans, why our production should be following the fans of the show, the people who actually watch. Like, why does production like them, but nobody else does? Nobody else does. Like, think about it. Back in the day, and I might be on the outside of this, back in the day when Bananas and his little group ran the challenge, everyone inside of the challenge hated Bananas. Like, oh, we got to get Bananas out. Everybody's scared of Bananas, whatever. But me watching it at home, I didn't hate Bananas. Like, he was entertaining to me. He was a competitor. And you had to step up to him and get him out if you wanted him out. It's no, like, Josh isn't a competitor. Like, you can get Josh or Devin out at any time. And I really believe Devin cheated. You telling me out of that whole Emerald team, Devin is the one who can make it across? Nelson couldn't make it. Nobody else could make it, but Devin could. So I'm like, production let them cheat. And then, okay, Kyle, you didn't do the leap of faith. I get it. Your plug didn't count. But then you come down to the fastest time. Now, on the aftermath, we learned that Logan took damn near 40 minutes to do his jump. But the Emerald team only went faster because they weren't jumping on the outside of the lines. They were jumping inside. It was... I don't get it. And then let's talk about the fire hose. When the first team, the Sapphire team, went, it seemed like those fire hoses were shooting them dead in the face, and they couldn't do anything but fall. But when the Emerald team went, it seemed like the fire hose couldn't barely make it to the satellite. And if it did, people were scared to shoot them in the face. I'm like, these people were shooting y'all in the face. Why y'all not shooting them in the face? And then I realized because they weren't on the outside of the lines. That's why the fire hose couldn't reach them, because they all up close to the middle. I don't know. I would have called cheating. Production let it fly. Let's see what we talking about. Eric, you agree KC gets on the hated list. I agree. And that's true about Bananas. I agree. Like, Bananas was hated within the house, but we love to watch him on TV. Or at least I did. And Eric did too. At least us two. That's what I was saying. How did Zuda, how the hell did Devin make it across and Nelson didn't? Nobody else made it across, but Devin, who was clearly the most out of shape man there, but he made it across. Okay, production, I see you. Like, I really feel like, and I know Charles has said this in past videos, I really feel like Josh and Devin are getting ready to make it to this final. Now, win the final, I don't know. But I really see Josh and Devin, it's like they're protecting them for what? It's kind of like Josh was like, I ain't coming back to your show unless I make it to a final. And I would, if I was production, I would have said, okay. And Michelle says, you can tell production loves Tori because she listens and makes all those stupid surprise and shocks. Overly produced. Tori is over. Everything she does on this show is fake to me. And I used to like Tori. I believe Tori is on my fantasy team. I used to like Tori, but ever since that one season, and y'all already know what I'm getting ready to say. Ever since that one season, when Jenny threw that hall brawl so Tori could win, I was over it. I was over it. But okay, we ain't gonna go back there. We ain't gonna go back there. Right, then when Green went, they could barely do it. Right. They could barely shoot them fire hoses when Green went, but it is what it is. Now, this right here, Stephanie, I hope it's not true. It can't, I'm going to tell you why it can't be true. Production is trying to show Devin as a true competitor, the new Bananas. Devin can never be the new Bananas. Never. Because you got to be tried and true in eliminations. I don't see anybody outside of a puzzle. What elimination is Devin going to win? If it wasn't for these teams, if it was an individual game, what individual game is Devin going to win? The only thing saving Devin is a partner and a team. And I agree, Zudam. It is very obvious that they favor Tori, CT, Josh, Devin, and Casey. And I'm over it. That's why I can't wait for November 11th. I can't wait for All Stars 2. I believe All Stars 2... 99% of the cast I love. I've seen the preview. It looks like a way more exciting game, way more exciting challenges. These are the people that talk shit and strategize and they call you out. They ain't scared of nobody. Like, I can't wait for All Stars. And if the challenge, the actual challenge, doesn't step it up, we all gonna be over there on Paramount Plus. What we gonna watch the challenge for when All Stars is 10 times better? But anyway, let's get on to Emerald wins because they did it the fastest. Let's get on to, they're discussing who they're gonna throw into elimination. Emerald wants to try to find somebody that's not going to infiltrate their team. I'm gonna say my 2 cents for that to the end, because I don't understand why. If you could look at what I'm looking at, like the people in the challenge house, can't they see production likes the Emerald team? I would constantly be trying to get over there with KC. I really feel like they like KC. KC is the competitor of that team. I would try to link up and be on KC's team at any time possible. And let me just go ahead and say what I have to say. Kyle made this big speech about joining up with CT. Let CT have to go into elimination and win. I can guarantee you, he gonna drop you, Kyle, right where you at on the Sapphire, and go over there to the Emerald team. So I don't understand why these people aren't trying to get over there to where KC and them is at, because that's the winning team. But let me get back into these comments, and then we're going to get into Ed, because I'm going to read Ed real quick, and then we're going to have a good time in the chat. Oh, you said yes to All Stars 2. I plan on doing my All Stars 2 cast assessment within the next week. It'll be out before November 1st, because I want to do it before All Stars starts. Right. I'm ready to see the real challenge with the All Stars. I agree. We all agree. Can you imagine? I ain't even read this, but I saw Josh, so I laughed. Can you imagine Josh running a final, crying all the time? At least Devin has run a final. What final has Devin run? Like, my memory ain't that good. I don't remember. Let me say something nice about Josh. Since Josh has started the challenge till now, I see the growth physically. I can see that Josh has been training, putting on muscle, adding endurance, because he hasn't been doing bad in these daily challenges. If Josh can stop the foolishness, the dumb arguments, the crying, the whining, the sucking up to Fessy and KC, if Josh could stop that, I might can like him, because I think Josh is a competitor. I would like to see Josh run a final and see what he can do. But this might be the season we see it. The Emerald team has the weakest men. I agree. That's why Kyle should have went over there. Kyle should have told Emmanuel to go take his rookie ass over there to the rookie teams. I would have went, if I was Kyle, I would have went over there. At least you have a smart team. They might not be the strongest, but you have a puzzle master in Devin. And like I said, I don't think Josh is weak. That's just his reputation. But I can see Josh has been training. I can see that. The way production set up the eliminations will let CT walk to the end. Nobody will call him in. And if he's voted in, he will pick a layup. True. That's probably why they'll never vote CT in, because they don't want CT over there on the Emerald team. And he would pick a layup. I want to get. Can we get? We're going to get back. I'm going to pin this comment. King Cash, I see your comment. Then I'm going to come back to all the other comments, because I want to just go ahead and get to Ed, because Ed pissed me off. And if you didn't see the title of my video, I said, this is not MTV's best friend race. This is not the best friend race. What are you doing, Ed? This is $1 million. And I felt like Ed was a strong competitor. Ed, for some reason, is best friends with Logan and said, Logan is hurt. I don't think it's fair that y'all vote Logan in. Go ahead and vote me in. He need a night off. I was tweeting my ass off last night. I couldn't believe what I was seeing on my TV screen. I'm like, where we do this at? Because every other season, we always we hone in on the person who hurt. Hell yeah, the hurt person going in, put me in against them so I can go ahead and get this out the way. What do you mean, Logan? I mean, I'm looking at Logan and what he did to Big T last week. That really pissed me off, because I felt like he was using Big T for clout and he never really cared about Big T. and everybody in that house saw him do that. They saw him probably lay up with Big T, kiss Big T, cuddle Big T, and then he's like, okay, that's enough. You gave me enough screen time. I'm done with you. I didn't like the way he did Big T, so I'm like, Ed, how can you see how he did Big T and then say, oh, he your best friend and he can't go into elimination? I was so pissed off at Ed. I'm like, don't bring him back. I need people who want to win the money. I need people who want to play the game. That's what we watching this for. If I want to see people be friends, I can go, watch Friends. Go watch a nice friendly family show. I want to see people who want $1 million and who gonna do whatever they got to do to win. So when Ed did that, I was automatically turned off. So now we get down to elimination. It's a pole wrestle. Now, mind you, in my mind, I didn't know Kyle was the pole wrestling king. I didn't know he won every pole wrestle he ever been in. Great for Kyle. But I would have still picked Logan to come in. Like, I wouldn't have picked CT. I wouldn't have picked Corey. He probably could have went against Nelson, but he told his team, CT and Nelson, y'all can sit down. Corey and Kyle. I picked Kyle. I'm just like, what am I watching? Like, he pretty much just wanted to go home. To me. Now, he gave Kyle a run for his money. It wasn't like Kyle just whooped his ass, but he did. And Ed is gone. Bye, Ed. Ed doesn't have to come back. I'm not looking for people who can show off their dance moves and be friends with everybody in the house. I'm looking for people to be on this show to play the game. Because MTV, y'all need to ask yourselves, what kind of game are you all producing? Are we looking for people to play best friend race? Or are you looking to have a show where people want $1 million? Because back in the day, I remember the challenge back in the day when they only used to get $100,000 and they had to split it amongst the team, and they were hella cutthroat for that little split. I think I just watched Gauntlet 3 because I've been working from home, so I watch the challenge. I watch the challenge on Amazon Prime, or is it Paramount Plus? Whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about. I be watching reruns while I'm working from home. And them people were cutthroat just to split $300,000 amongst the team. And you telling me it's $1 million on the line and you worried about your best friend who ain't even your friend? Whatever. Bye, Ed. Don't bring Ed back for me. He can stay gone. I want people that want to play. So let's get to the team pick, then we're going to get into the chat and have us a good time. So Kyle was on the Ruby team. Now, we know he hated the Ruby team. I expected Kyle to flip. But I expected Kyle to tell Emmanuel to take his ass over to the Ruby team, and he was going to Emerald. Kyle goes over there to Sapphire and sends Nelson to Ruby. Now, let me tell you why that's a mistake. Yeah, you have CT, Kyle, but you stuck with Bettina and Amanda. And they asses ain't shit. At least over there on Ruby, you had Corey, and all you had to really pick up the weight for was Big T because you already lost Priscilla, though I think Priscilla was a good competitor. Big T, the only one. You got 2 layups over there on the Sapphire team. I would have went over there and sent Emmanuel on his way. I feel like you made the Ruby team stronger because now the Ruby team has 3 gentlemen. Emmy, who I believe is a good competitor, though she crying about something next week, I forgot. And Big T. And you stuck over there with just CT. You down a gentleman, and you got all the layup girls on your team. You did it to yourself, Kyle. You did it to yourself. I want to know what you all think about all of this. We're about to go through the comments, have a good time, talk about the show. So let's get into it. So King Cash, I stopped on your comments. Some of these going to be out of order. Lord, y'all been commenting in the chat. I got to go back up. Okay, this right here where I left off. CT does not give a fuck about Kyle. He'll ditch him the first chance he gets. I 100% agree. I 100% agree, but I don't know if Kyle will be there too much longer. I want to know in the chat, do you think the Emerald team will ever lose? Like, I don't really see them losing. I don't know. Y'all told me last week it's a hall brawl between Casey, Tori, and somebody else. I forgot the third girl. It's a three-way female hall brawl. So that means Emerald has to lose something. That's the episode I'm waiting to see. I'm annoyed at Kyle because last episode he was crying about wanting to... That part. Crying about wanting to join the Emerald team, and now he switches it up to join Sapphire. I'm telling you, it has to be production because I don't see why anybody would want to join Amanda and Bettina. And Bettina ain't no real layup, but she a rookie and she not tried and tested and true. Like over there on Emerald, you got KC, who might as well be like a CT. I'm not trying to misgender her, but like KC performs like a man. KC is a great competitor. You got Tori, who we may not like Tori, but she's a good competitor. And even Nani can hold her own. I'd rather go over there on Emerald and team up with Josh and Devin over CT, Amanda, and Bettina and them. But, oh well. Kyle is fake. I agree. Devin made a final his first season only because he was first eliminated and came back because someone was DQ'd. What season was that? Child, I don't remember. We got to do this challenge history when Drew is on, when we had a trio, because Drew remembers all that. I don't remember what season that was, but I'm sure he lost. Bananas got dropped from All Stars 3. Also, Beth was an alternate. Okay, wait a minute. We was all last week in the chat talking about Bananas being on All Stars 3 and now he gone. Maybe he got dropped from All Stars 3 because he gonna come back to the regular All Star. Or not All Stars, but the regular challenge. I hope so. I would like to see Bananas again. Sylvia gonna be on All Stars 3. Good for her. Sylvia can come back over here with Ashley and them. Like, I don't want everybody going over to All Stars, because let's just quit the challenge then. If all the good people going over to All Stars, let's just quit this and focus on All Stars. But let's keep going. Plus, Josh hasn't been the absolute worst this time around. No, he hasn't. Josh, y'all see when we talk about our fantasy teams, Josh in these daily missions is always in first, second, or third. He's never at the bottom. Josh has really grown as a competitor. And I hate to say it because I don't like his ass, but Devin ran. Okay, but I remember with Cheyenne. Yeah, I remember that. I remember. Okay. I didn't think they made the final, but maybe they did. I do remember him being partners with Cheyenne. Okay. If these players were smart, they would vote CT in every elimination. I don't know about that, Christopher. He will beat them in the final, and at least they have a chance of beating him in a luck-based elimination. If he wins, he'll join their team. Now that I read that whole comment, I agree. If you're worried about, like, can we talk about Emmanuel? Emmanuel is on the Emerald team like he's done about 5-6 seasons of the challenge. Like, Emmanuel is running that team like he's a vet. He's looking at Kyle like, I wish the fuck you would come over here on the Emerald team. Like, I don't understand why people ain't put Emmanuel in his place. I don't care, y'all talking about this vampire or whatever. Put his at, he hasn't even been tried. He hasn't even been tested. He's been lucky with KC all season. And like I said, I'm not trying to misgender. I'm not misgendering KC, but KC performs like a guy. On her team, you saw Josh ain't get no plug, but KC did. KC is a great performer, so his team was stacked. I would be telling Emmanuel to kick rocks, and I'll be the first one over there on the Emerald team. But I agree, Christopher. Now that I've read this, I would vote CT in every time. Because if I'm lucky, If I'm lucky, he goes home. And if I'm unlucky, he joins my team. And that's it. If KC wins this season, I hope future seasons they treat her like they treat all other female champs. I feel like, let me tell you something, Miguel, let me tell you something. They treat KC like a champ right now. Who in the house wants to go up against KC? Nobody. And she ain't won nothing. She ain't won nothing. I would like to see KC win just so she can shut up about it. But I feel like if KC wins, oh, Jesus. I feel like don't bring KC back unless you bring her some competition. Because from the beginning of this season, KC had no competition. At least bring back a Laurel, Cara. Bring back somebody who could be a threat to her game. Because they treat her like a champ now. They give KC more props than they do Ashley, and Ashley won twice. For some reason, production wants Corey to be on All Stars instead of the main challenge. I saw that. I was watching something on YouTube where they showed a clip of Corey turning down All Stars 3 or one of the All Stars. And I'm like, why? Why are you taking the people who are at least young enough and willing to go somewhere for 2-3 months and shoot the challenge? Why are you trying to bring them over on All Stars? Because we don't like what you're doing over here. Leave the people in my age group alone. Let us have our own fun over here on Paramount Plus. Let Corey stay over there with MTV. But I already heard Corey ain't come to the reunion because he didn't get his vaccine. So he might not be invited anywhere if he don't get his vaccine. I don't know the rules, but Ed was way too nice. No, Ed was way too stupid. Like, Ed was stupid. He was just happy to be there. So don't invite him back. I need cutthroat people who want money. Ed needs that vulture mentality to win the challenge. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. Right. Like, do you want to win or do you want to be friends? Right. You saw people want to win. Send your friend a $500 gift card later. That was it. Ed dragged Kyle, though. It was hilarious. He was doing, they call it the plunger technique. Like, Kyle, I think on the Aftermath said his back was messed up for weeks. And did he say one of his ribs were cracked? He said he was messed up for a long time after Ed was pounding him. But he said he has good grip strength. That's how Kyle won. So that's what Kyle said. I think Ed didn't take the challenge seriously. I think he just wanted to be there because he was an alternate, wasn't he? He came in for Nam. So he really wasn't even supposed to be there. So he was just happy to be there. Like, people who can be ruthless without being toxic, like some people. Did I read that wrong? But y'all know, he likes people who are ruthless without being toxic. I agree. Like, are y'all watching Survivor? Most people who love the challenge love Survivor. Old girl Shan over there on Survivor, who is the pastor, she is the sweetest person. She has a spirit where people she draws people to her. But she's ruthless. Like how she stole that idol from Jeannie. Ruthless. And I love Shan. I agree. I like people who are like that. Remember in All Stars, Ace said they'd fight over a scooter. They did. And I believe that was Gauntlet 3 when they had them damn scooters. Yeah, like old challenge. The old challenges, they would fight over everything. A camera, an MP3 player, shit that right now we don't even use. Like, who even uses an MP3 player anymore? We don't even use cameras because we have our phone. Who the hell is riding on little scooters anymore? I mean, you do that out on vacation, but they was fighting over a lot of stuff. Would you say on All Stars, these people are backstabbing real friends for iPods and bikes? Now the prizes are $1 million. And they're volunteering to go in. We all on the same wavelength. Like, back in the day, they were fighting over, like, if it was $300,000 and it was 6 of them, because I just watched the Gauntlet, they were fighting over that. They each went home with $50,000. Friends, take your ass home, get an elimination, go home. Fighting over it. And now it's $1 million on the line. Every rookie this season, I think if we go back and watch every episode, every rookie this season, maybe outside of Michaela and Kels, those first 2 episodes, they all was volunteering to go in. They was like, well, shit, vote me in, my turn to prove myself. Let me go in. And they all went home. I can't stand it. That's what I love about them. They love to play the game. They weren't there for the show to show off their muscles and their pretty faces. And right, back in the day, it was about the game. It was about the strategy. They did have friends. They did have alliances. But when it came down to it, and their back was against the wall, and it was me or you, it's always going to be you. It's always going to be you instead of me. And that's what I miss about it. And it's a way you can do things without being a bitch, but it's always me over you. I want the $1 million. Like, I got kids too. Everybody on this damn show got kids by now. So can we please leave our kids' pictures at home? Like, everybody got some damn kids. Ain't nobody going to elimination for yours, Corey. I heard that Nani and Tori were called for why? Why is everybody being called for All-Stars? The only reason I could think that they're calling all these current people for All-Stars is maybe they don't have enough All-Stars, people from back in the day that want to continue to come. That's the only reason I could think, but I don't know. Bananas had a contract issue with production. That means Bananas wanted too much money, and they told his ass he could stay home. Oh well, Bananas, you want to be on the show or you don't? It's up to you. Emmy, Tori, and KC were the ones in the hall brawl. Who do we think wins that? I think it's KC. KC used to play football. Like, if she can't win a hall brawl. But it's a 3-person hall brawl. Will Emmy and Tori team up with KC? How do you do a 3-person hall brawl? Like, it's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see it. And while we're talking about Emmy real quick, what is CT doing to Emmy? See, this is what I don't like about CT. He did it last season to Big T. And we don't know for sure. It could be in Emmy's mind. But it seems like CT isn't being as friendly with Emmy, and she's going to have some kind of emotional reaction, cry session about it next week. I want to see what that's about, because that's really speaking to your character, CT, that you don't know how to talk to or treat women that you don't value. And, I talk a lot of shit about Big T. I claim it. But when it's your partner and Big T saw you as a friend, it's a certain way you maneuver through the game without hurting people's feelings. And it seemed like he getting ready to hurt Emmy's feelings, but it could be in Emmy's head. We're going to have to see how this happens next week. Honestly, I wish they could keep All-Stars special and not just have it like, oh, anyone from Real World can do it. What I want them to do to All-Stars to keep it pure, especially since it's only, season 2? Season 2? I want you to keep it where it's at. Like, bring in All-Stars. Once you have to start grabbing at Tori and Nani, like, it's already bad enough we see Anissa on both seasons. Anissa needs to retire from over here and stick to All-Stars. I'm just saying that. But once we have to start watching the same people on the challenge and then turn around and watch them again on All-Stars, All-Stars loses its value. Keep All-Stars special by bringing in All-Stars. It's plenty of them. You need to get to asking them. Take some of them off for punishment. Like, yes, people make mistakes. People say stupid things. If they genuinely have changed, give them another chance at the show. Now, if you look at their Twitter and they still talking that same bullshit that got them in timeout, okay, don't ask them back. But I would like to see some of the all stars, some of the old players really come back. The drama this season just don't hit the same. Jordan got that pull up energy. All these players playing scared. You know the drama is bad when we have to watch 5, 6 Zoom calls. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I believe, and we discussed this in our trio, MTV is rebranding the challenge to where they don't want them to fight. They don't want them to argue and be all up in each other's face. I can understand not fighting. We don't want to promote putting hands on people, but I enjoy a good argument. I enjoy some good shit talking. I enjoy some, I bet you won't do nothing. I do enjoy that kind of element. That's what the challenge was built on. You can't build a show on great competitions, cutthroat, sneaky, slit your friend's throat, arguing. They're worse than fighting. Sleeping with everybody, sleeping with everybody. Like, you can't build a show on that kind of drama and then say, "Oh, we don't want any of that anymore." Like, just play fair, volunteer yourself. Like, no, that's why your ratings are in the trash. You can't give us something and say, "Oh, but now we want everything to be rainbows and sunshine," and just go in and prove yourself. Whatever. Josh has always been at least decent in daily challenges. He does suck in elimination. He's like a male Nani. That's hilarious. That's a good one, Christopher. I would like to see Josh in elimination. I can't believe I'm saying so much nice stuff about Josh. I just would like to see if all the hard work, because he says he works out with Fessy every day, he trains with Casey. I would like to see, I would just like to see if he can do it. I would like to see if he's changed. Like, can you win an elimination and not against, what was old boy, Michi? Like, damn near anybody could have won against Michi last season. Casey don't want no parts of Jenny. I agree, King Cash. If Casey saw Jenny, I guarantee you her and Jenny would be best friends. She would become best friends with Jenny. She don't want no parts of that. Devin on the aftermath called Ed a labradoodle. I saw that and I didn't understand. I guess because he's soft. I mean, I guess. I love Devin so much. Like, I love what she does on the aftermath. She filled in for Wendy Williams the other day. I really like Devin, but Devin, if you could take 2 weeks off for your celebrity gossip, I would love to see Devin over there on All Stars. Like, she was entertaining when she was on the challenge. It's like, it's people you could ask. This is why we need more Survivor rookies. They will backstab each other over Chinese food. We need that energy on this show. We do. I would have loved to see how the season would have been if they didn't get rid of Michaela and Kels and Michelle and Tom. Like, if Survivor and them could have stayed a little bit longer. If they could have stayed a little bit longer. But because if anything, Michaela would have gave us some drama. Kels would have at least said, "I bet you won't do nothing." You know, I even miss Esther. Like, it was a lot of good people. This season had too many fucking people. Too many. If they would have cut out 10 people and just started, you know, it would have been a lot better. It would have been. But you had too many people. You got rid of the good people we really wanted to see the first 5, 6 episodes. And now we just dragging along. The vets should have saved Kels to take out CT. Now Fessy gone. It's looking bad. I said that a million times. I agree, King Cash. I said that. I say that all the time. They should have saved Kills. And I'm not mad that Fessy gone because I always felt like they want Fessy to be the new Bananas. Fessy doesn't have the personality to be Bananas. He doesn't. And so I don't know. It's like Leroy retired too soon. I don't know who's gonna take over that top spot, but it ain't none of these people. None of them. Mm-mm. Which male and female would you want to make their debut on the challenge? Let me think. Because I watch all the shows. Male and female. See, I was so excited about Michaela and Kels. I want to see Wendell. I just don't think Wendell, Wendell from Survivor, I don't think he's in for this type of drama. Like, they be talking bullshit on the challenge, and I think Wendell is too mature. He's older, but I would love to see him come over. And I would love to see. It's a lot of females I would like to see. I don't know how competitive they are. I really miss Davon and Bailey. Who was just over here on, not Tiffany, maybe somebody like Hannah from Big Brother, but she too nice. She too nice. Mm-mm. I don't know about the female. I got to think about that because all the females I'm thinking about, I don't see them being in the challenge house. How about we just bring Kels and Michaela back and production protect them? Protect them like how you protect Josh and Casey. At least let them last 5-6 episodes. Tori did Jenny bad in that hall brawl. King Cash, don't get me started. Don't get me started. We all know Jenny took a little extra $5,000 under the table, and they say you can come back next season, but let Tori have this one. You can't tell me no less. Don't get me started. I bet they're going to be doing an Emmy meltdown. Emmy has had a lot of meltdowns. She has a meltdown damn near every episode. But what is the challenge next week? Because Emmy cries twice. I think she doesn't want to do the challenge, and she cries about CT. Don't bring Emmy back either. Like, I don't want people on the show who are fans of everybody. I want people who want to win $1 million. Normally, I love CT, but I'm rethinking that because of how he treated Big T. And even though I'm not an Emmy fan, me neither, I'm hoping he's not treating her poorly. We have to see how this plays out next week, Michelle, because I feel like he did Big T wrong. He did Big T wrong this season when he was like, don't bring your ass over here to the Sapphire. And see, Big T couldn't have been me because my ass would have been right on the Sapphire team just because you told me not to. But see, they not Angie. I don't know if what he is doing to Emmy is in her head. Like, maybe he's not giving Emmy enough attention because they aren't partners anymore. And is Emmy reading that wrong? Or is CT really doing something to her? Because I can't see. Emmy isn't on CT's team. So he has no reason to treat her badly. I think he's just not paying her the amount of attention she would like. And we're going to have to see how that plays. Okay. When is the fantasy team? Okay. The fantasy team update is next Thursday. I don't want to explain why. If you watch the beginning, you understand why I've been so busy the past 2 weeks and I pushed it back. And then me, Charles, and Drew decided since next Wednesday is the 500th episode of the challenge, we're going to do a big live next Thursday, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do games and everything else. So next Thursday will be the trio with our fantasy team updates. And I have to, I've been so busy at work. I haven't even had time to update the scores. So we're going to see. I hope I'm in the lead. But it don't look like it. Ashley has that cutthroat mentality the rest of the players need. There's a reason whenever Ashley and Amanda were in trouble, Amanda got sent home and Ashley went on to win. Ashley and Amanda do have that cutthroat mentality, but I feel like they're so busy this season trying to prove that they aren't who they used to be, that they aren't playing cutthroat. And then they also aren't winning. Like, if Sapphire wins, I can guarantee you, if Sapphire wins, say next week in this girls' elimination, KC taking her ass to the floor. Even if KC got to bring in Big T, or maybe they might send in Nani. I don't know. But I definitely can see Ashley and Amanda making a cutthroat decision for their team to get out somebody good on Emerald. So they got to win something first. You got to win something first. Jamie Chung was supposed to be on. I don't know who Jamie Chung is. You got to remind me, Dan. Who is Jamie Chung? Tell me what season she was on and who was on there with her so I could try to remember. I thought I heard they put a limit on the alcohol consumption See, they did. I heard that they have alcohol tickets now. I don't know if they got the alcohol tickets after that big blow up with Fessy and Josh, and they was like, okay, y'all get drunk too much. But I heard a lot of people don't like the challenge anymore because of the alcohol tickets, because you got to think some of these people, yes, it's their job. This is all they do. But this is also their vacation. Like, they come on the challenge to party and to win money. And if I could only have 2 margaritas, I could stay at home and drink 2 margaritas. You know, it is what it is. I don't like Josh, but he's better with Fessy gone. I agree. I would like to see, out of the 3, Josh, Casey, and Fessy. I know my fingers are funny. I'm double jointed. Out of those 3, I would like to see all of them do a season individually. Like, Casey, come back by yourself without your Big Brother crew. Fessy, what can you do without the Big Brother crew? Josh, how good are all your other friendships in the house? I think I would like Josh a lot if he didn't have Casey or Fessy. And let's see what you can maneuver by yourself. Do you have all the friendships you think you have? Because Josh did the challenge a couple of seasons without, but he had Paulie and Cara in him. I don't know. I dislike Josh. I really do. But I agree with your statement, Eric. He's not starting to aggravate me as much. I think we missed out a lot this whole season with Kel's effortlessly. Wait, I read this all wrong. To think we missed out on a whole season of Kel's effortlessly reading Josh. The first 2, that episode of Kel's reading Josh without raising his voice, the best. The best. We already know CT gonna win. We said that. I want to see Kenya from Are You the One and X on the Beach. I don't know her. Kylan would be an entertaining mess. No, I don't like. After Kylan's foolishness with the nephew in the walkout on CBS, I don't want to see Kylan nowhere because he has that entitlement factor that's not going to work on a challenge. And I mean, I guess to see what he'll do, but he only pulled that. See, he pulled that in Big Brother because he knew Xavier wasn't going to do nothing. These people on the challenge, they might risk $1 million to punch you in your face. You just never know. So yeah, let's see what Kyle and the pool over there on the challenge. She's there for the money at the end of the day. I would love to see Kenya. Who is Kenya? Because when you say Kenya, I think Real Housewives of Atlanta. And we know her ass ain't coming over here on the challenge. Right, Chris? I thought you was talking about Kenya Moore. I don't know this Kenya you're talking about. I can't stand whenever they try to bring on pretty people, like get people who are actually smart with brains. I don't mind pretty people as long as they're competitors. I don't like when they bring on Instagram models who just want to get their followers up. Like, I want to see people that want to compete. Like, oh girl, Faith and Angela, like they were really strong. Why have they never came back? I think Faith did come back a season. I don't. Y'all know I don't be remembering. This is who I don't understand. And I know everybody loves Big T, but to me, Big T is a waste of a space. She's a waste of a space. She's not a competitor. I've already caught Big T up in a lie. Now, remember last season, hey, Charles, I had to scroll before I saw Charles in the chat. Hey, Charles, I caught Big T up in a lie. Remember last season when her and CT won that swimming whatever daily challenge, and she was like, oh, I used to be the swim team in high school, I'm a really good swimmer. And then this season when it's time to swim, I don't know about this, I'm not a really good swimmer. I'm like, bitch, you was just on the swim team last season. See, Big T can go. She doesn't bring anything. She's just a layup. She's just waiting around for somebody to beat her in elimination, and she's not that entertaining to me. Even though I didn't like what Logan did to Big T, I did not like that. A waste of a space. Bring in somebody else. Which females do you think are going in the layer next week? I have no clue. It all depends on who wins the elimination. And for the life of me, I know the challenge has to have something to do with heights because Emmy is crying. So I feel like Ruby isn't going to win. So maybe in the way Emmy, maybe this is why Emmy is mad at CT. Maybe Sapphire wins and Sapphire throws in Emmy. But no, we know Emmy's going to be around for that three-way. Maybe next week is the three-way hall brawl. Maybe Emmy, they throw in Emmy, and I don't know. Who the hell knows who's going to be in there? But I know, I don't know. It all depends on who wins. It all depends on who wins next week. I would say this. If Sapphire wins, I can see them throwing in Emmy because she's the only rookie left because Bettina would be saved. So I can see them throwing in Emmy and Emmy crying that CT ain't have her back. If Emerald wins, I can see them throwing in Bettina. And even if Ruby wins, I can see them throwing in Bettina. So it has to be Emmy or Bettina. One of the rookies is going to be the house vote. So does that work? Exactly. Like they cannot beat Casey and Tori in elimination. I don't care about that. Everyone is shouting out Charles. Hey, Charles. Honestly, in order to save the show, they need a highly competitive cast of agreed. That's why we like All Stars. All Stars is, well, they were dropping like flies last season, but at least, and they were volunteering their ass off last season. But at least it was the nostalgia. I love All Stars, but we need people who are strategic and physical. Get rid of all the layups. I would love to see a no layup season. They said Nani got drunk. When doesn't Nani get drunk? What do you mean Nani got drunk too? Nani always drunk. She just drunk in love this season. But I can tell their show is bad whenever they literally have to do workout segments and Zoom calls. I don't even mind the workout clips. The Zoom calls are what pissed me off this episode. Ashley doesn't fuck with Nani anymore after watching this season, so that'll be interesting to see how they'll interact next season. Christopher, what did Nani do to Ashley to make her not like her anymore after this season? Like, this has been a snore. I don't recall Nani talking shit about Ashley. Nani has been minding her business with KC. I don't know. Right. Josh doesn't have any pull without Casey or Fessy. I agree. That's why I would like to see Josh on a season by himself. By himself. They just let him be the mouthpiece, but they need to split up Big Brother, Nelson and Corey, Ashley, and the Lavender Girls, CT. I don't know. Like, we can't split up everybody, but they need to split up Big Brother. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Big Brother is aggravating me, and I love Big Brother, but they aggravate me on the show. Marlon, you want to see Tiffany on the challenge? Charles is shady in the chat. He said, "Oh no." I don't think Tiffany would do the challenge. I think the challenge is out of her age range because Tiffany is my age. I definitely can't sit in the house with a bunch of 20-year-olds drinking all day, fussing and fighting over pizza and bullshit. No. I don't see Tiffany ever doing the challenge. She might can do Big Brother All Stars. Now, somebody was telling me this. They weren't telling me. I was watching it over there on, I don't know what YouTube show I was watching. But they were saying, what is his name? Boston Rob wants to be on Celebrity Big Brother this coming winter. I wouldn't mind seeing it, especially if they put Boston Rob in there. They gotta put old girl in there too, Sandra, and let them be a mess in the house together. She really is. Priscilla can take her regular spot. I agree. I already know you're talking about Big T. Big T is a waste of a spot. Honestly, Big T is only there to get pity edit. Agreed. Agreed. And people love Big T. And for everybody in the chat that loves Big T, just put in a couple of reasons why. Not that you love her personality. I mean, I don't dislike her, and I don't want to say anything bad about Big T. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Just tell me in the chat why she's so good for this show. Is it that we got to have a layup every season? Because I just don't get it. Pity edit. Next week, Daily is going to get physical. Okay. Who are my top 5 favorite challengers this season or ever? Let's just do ever because it ain't that many this season. I love Cam. Off top, I love Cam. I love Davon. I love Paulie. I would love to see Paulie back. I like Leroy. I like Bananas. Who else do I love to see on the show? I used to love when, what is her name? Paula, and I think he's getting ready to be on All Stars. Is his name Tyler? When Paula and Tyler would get together and stir up mess. So many. I like Jasmine. Jasmine's getting ready to be on. I just like people with personality. I like the sassy people. I like people who have strategy. People, like, I really love Cam. I really love Cam because Cam, every season that she's on, she thinks about what the game is this season. And by episode 4 or 5, she got a plan. She got a strategy. I love Cam. I love that for her. Because some people just come on this show and be like, okay, I called up so-and-so and so-and-so. We got each other back. Bet. And then when they get and see how the game is, you don't know if it's teams, partners, pairs, solo, whatever. And you see the game and it's like, I like Cam because she has her alliance, but then she also sees what the game is and comes up with the game plan. So Cam is probably my favorite out of everybody. I do like Laurel. I used to like Evelyn when she was on. I like all the ladies who are strong ladies who were on the show. I do remember when Nani got drunk and threw them noodles at Anissa, and Anisha should have threw them hands. But Anissa was like, I can't believe Nani threw noodles at me. She's my friend. I've gotten drunk plenty of times around my best friends and had disagreements and never want to throw noodles or hands. So being drunk doesn't make you want to fight your friends. If you want to fight your friends, they were never really your friends. Don't blame it on the alcohol. Jamie Chung done one season of the challenge. It was Inferno 2 and she won. Dan, that's not telling me nothing. Because if she only did one season, that means she's not rememberable. But I guess I'll try to remember her when she hits up All Stars. Inferno 2. Okay. Lord, y'all in the comments. Okay, Charles want to answer the question. His top fives are Rachel. Oh, I forgot about Rachel. I did like Rachel. And I like Veronica back in the day. Landon was cool. Why can't he come over to All Stars? Jordan, I don't like Jordan. Like, he's a good challenger, but he likes to antagonize people, and I don't like that. Davon and KC, you like KC? Hey Angie, I've been watching your channel for a few months now, and I've been a new subscriber since then. Love your discussions on reality competition shows, and we'll be there for the next one. Oh, thank you, Miguel. Thank you so much. I used to like her, but I like to see POCs, so I'm assuming that's people of color, dominate on the challenge. She make us look weak. Is that about Big T? I don't want to slam Big T no more. I don't want to slam Big T. I just want to know why people be like, oh, Big T is the queen. Like, she hasn't done anything. She doesn't do strategically anything. She doesn't win anything. Nani was targeting Ashley for being a champ and calling her a snake in confessionals. Ashley is really hurt because she says Nani was acting like they were best friends to her face. I hope Nani gives Ashley her ass to kiss. You really gonna cry over that when Nelson called you a damn snake to your face and you and him still friends? I mean, Ashley, when you steal money from somebody, and I know people get in the debate, she ain't really steal the money from Hunter, she could have done it or whatever. When you made the move, and then people like, they don't hate bananas as much for doing this, whatever, who cares? When you made that move that season, you can't be trusted. And it's not that people don't trust, because you never know until you at the top of the mountain and TJ tell you, okay, y'all getting ready to steal $1 million. If it's ever an opportunity for somebody to steal $1 million again, they know if they stuck up there with you, you gonna steal it. So you can't be trusted. And it is what it is. It is what it is. I think Nani never 100% forgave Ashley for manipulating Turbo into fighting Jordan and getting kicked off the show. I agree, because Turbo was in the room minding his business. It's the same thing this season with Corey and Tori. Like, Josh was in the pool room minding his business. Whatever Amber B and Fessy was arguing about pizza, that was bullshit. And true enough, Josh should have controlled his emotions, but that was the same thing. Ashley wanted to see a turn up. She wanted, and you know Turbo, and it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Turbo should control his anger, but when you know somebody's personalities, traits, and that's supposed to be your friend, why would you want to get him riled up? I agree. Honestly, Big T is hilarious. That's why I like her on the challenge. What has she done funny? I don't recall laughing at anything Big T has done. Not a single joke, not a single story. I don't know. People like who they like. I don't want to slam Big T because I don't hate her. I just don't think she brings anything to the show. That's why Cam never leaves early. She always figures out the game. I agree. Jamie Chung is most well known for what she's done after the challenge. She's a successful actress. Well, Christopher, tell me what she acted on. I might remember her then. Where my phone? Now I gotta Google who the hell Jamie Chung is. I didn't know KC was your girl, Charles. I thought we equally hated KC, but me and Charles do have different opinions often. Jamie Chung, American actress. This is her. Is this Jamie Chung? My camera won't focus. I don't recall her being on a. They said she was on Real World San Diego. Hmm. I can't. That girl could come knock on my door tonight and I wouldn't know who the hell she was. I don't know her. But okay. That's her. What has she acted in? Did she play on Crazy? I don't want to. I don't want to. Big Hero 6. I don't know this girl from anywhere, but congratulations to her for winning the challenge. If she comes back, I might refresh my memory. But I'm sorry for not remembering her. It's something about KC I dislike. I don't know what it is. Let me tell you what it is. KC is furniture. KC brings nothing. KC is also like a Big T. She brings nothing to the show, but at least she can win. At least she's good at challenges. They weirded out face when you saw her though. I wasn't trying to be weird. I don't recognize her from anything. Not from anything. It's like I thought when I saw her face, I'd be like, oh, that's Jamie. But no, I don't recognize her. Not from TV, not from MTV. Let me Google Jamie Chung Real World and see the picture from back in the day. That might refresh my memory. Lord, you know these pictures old and it's little. I can't see. Well, anyway, we ain't even talking about Jamie Chung. Who cares? She brought nothing for Big Brother or the challenge. Agreed. Agreed. But that is it. You all, I have went through all the comments. She was in Lovecraft Country. Now I love that show. What does she play on in Lovecraft? Y'all gonna have me up all night Googling this girl, trying to figure out if I know her, if I don't, if I like her, if I don't. I I'm gonna be up all night Googling. I'm gonna be looking at Lovecraft County and seeing if I know her from there. I don't know this child. I dislike that Casey is sneaky and messy and it's boring. She is always boring. I didn't like what she did with Bailey. She was lying on Bailey. She lied on Bailey on Big Brother and on the challenge and getting screamed at and steal furniture. I don't want to talk about Casey. And a movie called Eden 2. Yeah, Dan, I'm going to be up all night. As soon as I finish this live, I'm going to be on the phone, Googling, trying to figure out who Jamie Chung is. It's in my mind. It's in my mind. I would have loved to see Paula on All Stars, though. I thought Paula is on All Stars. Oh, no. It's Tyler. It's Tyler. Maybe Paula can do All Stars 3. I do like Paula. I liked Paula. I even like Robin. Why couldn't Mark bring Robin was back last season? Why she didn't come back for season 2? I'm not about to get started on All Stars 2. That'll probably be next weekend. I'll do my cast assessment for All Stars 2 because I did watch the preview and I'm super excited for the season. Casey is a good competitor and has no loyalty. if she was at least bit entertaining. You would stand her if she was entertaining. Let me say something nice about Casey. I did say something nice about Casey. She's a good competitor. Casey's a good competitor. What can Casey do to be more entertaining? Because I thought at least being in a relationship with Nani would be something, because Nani can at least give us a moment on TV, but even Nani isn't doing anything for her. Like that little date they went on, snooze. Like, how many episodes are you going to do in the fantasy update? Dan, let me tell you, we so many episodes behind on the fantasy show. I really want next week to be a celebration of the 500 episode. We probably will talk about each episode, but shortly, because you already know half of the episodes were boring. But we do want to talk about, who won on each episode, so we can, talk about our fantasy teams. But I really want to just have a good time next week. I want to come up with some games that we could play, to celebrate the challenge 500th episode. I want us, because we should be, halfway through the season? Like, how many more episodes to the finale till they run this final? I don't know. I want us to really deep dive into our players and just have a good time. Have a good time in the chat, because we're 5 episodes behind. We're supposed to do every 3 episodes, and we're getting down to the end of it, so I can say this again. For the past 2 weeks has been year-end close for me, and you all know I'm an accountant. Year-end is the busiest time of the year, but it's only once a year, so you just have to anchor down and get your work done. So I worked hella overtime, so every week I would push it back because I couldn't do it on Thursdays. And that's why I've been coming solo on Fridays. And so Drew was like, well, since next week is the 500th episode, let's just do it next week instead of us doing it tonight. So I was like, great, good idea. We'll have a good time. We'll do something fun. So next Thursday, not Friday, but next Thursday, the trio will be live. I don't know if it's going to be my channel or Drew's channel. I was going to ask Drew if we would do it on his channel, but I will let you all know on Twitter and YouTube what channel it'll be on. But it will be next Thursday. And we're just going to have a great time talking about our fantasy teams and talking about the challenge. So it's going to be a lot, but we're going to make it fun. And it will be every 3 weeks going forward, because year end is over. That's why tonight I'm going to refill my wine glass, and I'm not touching my work computer all weekend. Matter of fact, my boss told me, she was like, enjoy your weekend, because I still have some year end things to do, but they aren't as pressing as closing the books. So she was like, enjoy your weekend. I was like, cool, not touching this computer. But anyway, let's get back into the comments. I believe we've talked about everything. Yeah, everybody's just giving Casey props or love, whatever. I don't. Casey isn't my favorite, but I will say next year or next season, when we do our fantasy drafts, I am not going to not pick people because I don't like them. That's why I shot myself in the foot. Like, I never pick KC because I don't like KC. I'm going to pick, if I ever get that first pick, I'm picking KC ass, because I always end up counting certain people out just because I don't like them. And I end up losing. I don't like that. I want to win at the end of the day. That's kind of like my fantasy football team. I know I'm going on a tangent. My team is the Falcons. And they suck this year. And it's certain people I won't pick because they rivals of the Falcons. Like, I ended up picking Tom Brady as my quarterback in one league because I ain't had no choice but to pick Tom Brady because I waited too late to pick a quarterback. But I normally wouldn't. You know how they embarrassed the Falcons that one Super Bowl. But anyway, that's why my fantasy teams in football is sucking too. I have to stop picking people because I don't like them. I need to start picking people for the points. because I play fantasy football for money, so I need my money. Me, Charles, and Drew just play this for fun. So you want to play who could drink the most? Let's play a game. I do want to do a drinking game. That's probably why we should do it on Friday. I'm gonna give y'all the update. Because we could play a drinking game, like every time somebody says a certain word, you take a drink. But I don't know if Charles and Drew drinks as much as I do. But you all drink in the chat too much wine. Let me put it down. You all drink in the chat, right? That would be fun if we played a nice drinking game on the live. Every time somebody says a word, you have to drink. And then we could just have a good time. Maybe we should do it. No, I think Drew has something. We're going to have fun. I work from home, so I could drink on Thursday anyway. But anyway, we're going to work it out. It's going to be a good time. I've seen the spoilers. I know who wins. Okay, Marlon, don't tell me. Marlon. I don't like to know. The only show I like spoilers on is Big Brother. That's because it's the live feeds and you can't help but to be spoiled. But don't tell me the spoilers, Marlon. You glad I get a break? Yes, I'm taking a break. And watch KC get sent home first next season. I don't think so. They got to have competitors that will send her home because we know KC isn't going to lose in a purge. And we know KC has a great chance of winning in elimination. So they would kind of have to do that idea you have with CT, just keep voting her ass in until she get a puzzle and go home. That will be lit. You, Charles, and Drew are hilarious. Okay, we're going to do that. Oh, Dan, you say you're only 17. I'm sorry. You could just drink the orange juice, no vodka. You could still play drinking games with no alcohol. We could still have a good time. It'll still be fun. We still gonna have fun. But anyway, I have been talking an hour and 21 minutes. I've had a great time. I've probably already had a little bit too much Stella Rose, and I'm about to go refill my glass and relax. I love the challenge. I love chatting with you all every week. It is a great time. I will see you all back next week. It'll probably be Thursday because I already told Drew and Charles Thursday. Me and Charles do Survivor on Thursdays at 6 p.m. And so the challenge will be at 7 p.m. Central Time. The trio next week. We're going to have a lot of fun. So thank you all so much for watching. Go ahead, if you haven't already, hit the like button. If you're watching this on the replay, get in the comments and let me know what you thought about the episode and everything else we've been having a good time talking about. And if this is your first time with me, Kiss My Cheeks TV, go ahead and hit subscribe. I appreciate all of your love and support of my channel. You all have a great weekend, and I will see you all next week for the fun. Have a good night. Bye.